is not the time to fix the blame. It's time to fix the problem. I would hope that all our leaders, all of them, can put aside short-term political goals and do what's in the best interest of the American people.
One of the messages that I have to Congress is get this done. Democrats, Republicans, step up to the plate, get it done.
Both candidates have said that now is not the time to talk about blame for the financial collapse. And frankly, that's what politicians always say. They said it in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, if you remember. And when attention passes, no one is ever held accountable. The truth is now is the time to talk about blame. Now that the world is focusing on this, people deserve to know how we got into this mess. We're talking about naming names and holding these culprits accountable. Now, for the next 2 weeks, every night, we're going to be naming names, the 10 most wanted culprits of this collapse. We start tonight with AIG. For sheer greed and gall, it is hard to beat the executives of AIG, the nation's largest private insurance company, now on its second bailout, and it's costing you $38 billion. What's worse, we now know that after they got their first $84 million bailout, AIG executives spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on fancy hotels and spa treatments for some of the company's biggest earners. Joe Johns explains why they go on our list of the 10 most wanted culprits of the collapse.
First, insurance giant AIG gets an $85 billion lifeline from the U.S. taxpayer. And then today, it comes back for more, another $38 billion. And now, word of what the company was up to as it blew through the first installment. Get ready for this. As the ink was still drying on bailout number one, AIG was treating about 100 independent insurance agents, some of the company's top earners, to the glamorous life at the ultra-luxury St. Regis Resort in Southern California. The bill tells the story. $140,000 for hotel rooms, $147,000 for banquets, $23,000 for the spa. All told, the bill came to a whopping $443,343.71. Needless to say, from Capitol Hill to the campaign trail to the White House, no one was happy.
They were getting their manicures, their facials, their pedicures, and their massages.
And I tell you what, the Treasury should demand that money back, and those executives should be fired.
It's pretty despicable.
AIG says the event wasn't for company executives, but a reward for independent agents who sold AIG products.
It's a way of rewarding people who have gone out and done a good job of selling our product.
But he admits it didn't look good.
But you've got to recognize this has been a very entrepreneurial company for a long time, and that mindset just isn't at work. But people are certainly now very sensitized to the fact that even things that we've done that are good operating procedures can have, perception problems.
Perception problems? The problem is a lot bigger than that. AIG has become a symbol of the financial collapse because it gambled billions of dollars on what turned out to be bad mortgages, without the collateral to make good when business went bad. In fact, AIG once boasted it pioneered some of the exotic investments that have now brought down much of Wall Street and is now dragging down the global economy. And now, the taxpayer is on the hook for $120 billion for one company's bad bet. And that's why AIG is one of our 10 most wanted culprits of the collapse.
Well, there's a lot of executives at AIG who bear a burden of blame, but in particular, we're focusing tonight, and we're going to add the name of Joe Cassano to our 10 most wanted list. Joe Johns, who is Joe Cassano? What did he do?
Well, he's one of the guys who ramped up the swap deals that have caused so many problems for AIG. He was a guy who ran the financial products department for that company, and when he walked away, which was earlier this year, they started paying him something like $1 million a month. Really got hammered for that on Capitol Hill just yesterday. The company says, we had to have him on because we wanted to wind down the business, and he was the guy with the institutional memory. Still, a lot of questions about AIG's judgment when it comes to Joe Cassano.
Oh, Joe Cassano's in our 10 most wanted culprits of the collapse. Joe, thanks very much. We're going to continue